Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you could probably hear outside, it's a miserable day. It's been raining all day. It's been raining all week actually. It's just the weather is a nightmare. I've got the garlic. The garlic finally came. It's just elephant garlic. So we're going to plant that today. We're just going to plant it in pots. Because as I say, that it's been raining that much, the ground's soaking and they don't like to be sitting in wet soil. You could probably try mixing some grit with where they're going to give them free drainage, but with the soil being that wet, you didn't really want to be working on it or walking on it or even doing anything on it. So the other option is for, if you put them in pots, because then you could, like myself, honestly I don't mark it where I'm putting everything. I just, when it comes to planting stuff out, I decide, right, that's gone there, that's gone there. Ken, so it's always good to plant things in pots, because you never know where you want to put them. You might change your mind where you want to put your garlic, and if you've already planted your garlic and you can't, obviously you can't lift it, so you have to leave it. The other thing that probably won't move is the peas down to the lemon, because they're just going to stay where they are. So I got these footings online. I was at the garden centre yesterday to get compost. I picked up these little deadheading scissors. They're for deadheading your plants. Makes it easier than trying to use secateurs. Also picked up a new pruning knife. There, new pruning knife. This will be used to open the bag of compost. I got new compost to try as well. It's called Evergreen. It's an Irish compost. A better day is job. Multi-purpose compost, so it could do seeds, cuttings, potting up. So we're going to use it today to pot the garlic up into these pots. There's 25 garlic there, 25 pots. Now you could store these once you've planted them, give them a soak, and just keep an eye on them. You shouldn't really need to water them all the time. Just keep an eye, and if you see, again, if you see them starting to dry out, just scratch below the surface a little bit. It might be a wee bit moister in there. You don't have to water them as constantly. When you give them a good soak after you've done that, that should really do them to start growing. And then when they start growing, you can start to monitor them and keep an eye on them, and if they do need to be, if you do need a drink, give them a drink. Storing wise, you could put them in your polytunnel if you've got a polytunnel. You could put them in your greenhouse if you've got a greenhouse, or a cold frame, or somewhere outside that's sheltered for the weather. And you don't have to worry about trying to protect them for the frost or the cold, because they need the cold, they need the frost. That what makes them split. So you don't have to be too particular where you put them, as long as they're sheltered for the elements. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in the remainders of this perlite into the mix, just to help them with the drainage. As I say, garlic doesn't like to be sitting in wet, boggy soil. It needs free drainage. So you can mix in perlite, or you can mix in horticultural grit. It depends on what you've got at the time. So let me just get a tub. my shed's a mess, you could probably tell. You could probably tell it's leaking as well. Hopefully, all going well, we'll be turning that little shed into a potting shed. Slash leaning. It's got to be like a leaning shed. A lean-to thing. Hopefully we could get it done before the growing season. So we'll get into this compost and we'll see what it's like. It's a lot heavier than the other stuff, to be truthful. There we are. It has been sitting outside because at the time I got back for the garden centre, it was dark. So I just plunked out in the back garden, and I just left it and then came in. So, first impressions, it looks nice, that's it there. There's no crap in it whatsoever. So I'll put a few scoops in. And it just breaks up as well. So if you could see that. I'll put the camera down so you could see. See there. Looks alright soil, compost. So you want to fill your bucket up or whatever you're using to mix your compost, or even if you're using your bench to mix your compost. You just want to get in there and do. My bench needs are clean, so that's why I'm using the bucket. I do have another bigger bucket, but it's doing it at the allotment. So we'll use this. There's not much perlite here, but we'll just should be enough there. When using perlite, try and use it in a vented area because you do get a lot of stir coming up. I don't think it's advisable to leave it in. So there we go, just put a wee bit of perlite in there just to help with drainage. These pots, I forgot all about them when I left them outside, so they're a wee bit wet, which is not a problem. So just going to put, what I'm going to do is I'll get a tray. There we go. So any compost that falls will just go into this tray. So there's the tray in there. Now, when you order the garlic, you do get an information sheet, and if you look through that information sheet and you find the garlic bit, it's probably a fair bit of writing to read. It tells you how to plan it, how to care for it, basically how to look after it. So this is 1 clove of the elephant garlic. And they're pretty big cloves, you can see there. And elephant garlic, it isn't as strong as your normal standard garlic. It's quite mild as well. Mild, and you don't have to remove the outer dry skin. Just leave that, that'll push itself through. Sometimes you have to do it with onion sets. It's just remove the top of the skin there just to help it get through. The bottom bit here is the roots, and you can just see all the little See all these little noddy things here that are just around the outside? That's the roots, so that's the part that needs to go into the compost. Now it does say about the depth, about it's that, but I'm going to go for the depth of my finger here. So I'm going to push it in. Probably need a wee bit more. There we go. So it should look like that. And then what to do is just lay your compost. I don't want the top it poking out. You could probably do it a wee bit deeper. So that's the first one done. We'll just get, well, I say get a tray, but all the trays are in my, I've put all the trays away. That's what I did the other day as well, was I went through all the trays and put them away. I haven't really cleaned these pots, washed them, because I just used them last year, but when it comes to the start of the year again, I'll do a video on how I wash them. So you could. So a wee bit of the old compost in the bottom there. As I say, that's your bottom there, top. And just put them in. Generally just put a wee bit of compost there at the top. Just a bit of what was in that. Old bit of compost. Problem is, when you've got compost left in the bottom of your pot and it gets wet, it just becomes a pain to get off. Sometimes you'll get bowls and they've got a little bit of the mould at the bottom here. I think that's just generally down to how they've been stored. So if you're quite fussy, you can scrape it off and just keep an eye on them. Because as I say, you don't want to water them too much because you can rot them. They do rot. So just be careful on the watering. It's a nice fluffy compost. I'm not going to lie, like, there's no food junk as well, which is a good thing. If it does better than that stuff I get for B&Q, then, and it's a lot cheaper to be truthful as well. I mean, it's 100 litres, and I only paid let's see. I think I paid £7 for that. For it. Right now I'm running out of room, so I'm going to just put this box of garlic up here and then start just putting the pots there. So it's around about the time to start planting garlic. You can start planting it now, or you can wait till December, or you can wait till the start of February, January I mean. you do it in February and it's a bit late. Well, to be truthful, it isn't too late actually, because if you forget about your garlic, you get to where you say, oh, it's too late now. What to do is, if you're late in getting your garlic done, is stick it in the fridge. Stick it in the fridge for, it says in 2 to 3 weeks, so you stick it in the fridge for 2 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks before you come to plant it. And what happens is that chillness will help them split, because that's what makes them split. So if you're a beginner and you're just starting out, that's what makes the garlic split. As the coldness is what it does. Same with a lot of veg, a lot of veg, a lot of veg you don't lift until it's been hit with the frost, because it gives the veg a better taste, a wee bit sweeter taste. So I should have grabbed a big bag of perlite when I was in that garden centre. I'll do that. I'll have to get it anyway for when I come to do the, if I've germinated onions and that and stuff. I like to use perlite in the mix now. So I'm just going to mix some more of this in there. As I say, you can probably start growing some veggie now actually. If you've got a greenhouse or a polytunnel, get them germinated, grow them on a wee bit, and then once you've got them like potted into pots like that, stick them in your greenhouse or your polytunnel, and they should overwinter. And then when it comes to like March time or something, or Marchy time or April, or whenever you like to plant out you want to plant them out, they should be ready for to go out. And then you get yourselves you're basically already halfway started with the growing season. So we're doing good. We're nearly, how many pots we've done? That's 4. We've done six pots. We're on our 7th pot now. I'll not do them all on mine because I'm sure you don't want to be. You've probably seen this all before, and you don't want to be sitting watching me plant garlic all day. I'm only doing this because it's a rainy day, and it's raining the day and there's not really much to do outside. I mean, I don't mind working in the rain. You get a lot of people that moan when they work in the rain. Fair enough, it depends on what you're doing, Again, like, I've seen people cutting grass in the rain, it just makes a a mess, There's no what you want. Right. Need more compost. So we'll soon find out if this compost is any good. When we if the garlic grow in it and if they germinate in it. I think the real option would be to sow some seeds in it. To see if they germinate and see if they come to anything. I do have a tray kicking about here somewhere actually. We could probably any seed left in that? I've got a few left in that. So we could probably sow these and see what they're like, but we'll do that later on. Yeah, I'll do that off camera. So as I say, a little bit of compost in the bottom. Get your garlic there. And what I'm just scraping off this mould that's appearing at the bottom here. It's just because it's been sitting in storage. It's obviously not been stored properly. In there. And the good thing about garlic, if you store it properly, it does last. It lasts long, and then you could take a few cloves out for yourself if you want to. If you want to grow the same garlic next year, or if you want to grow a different garlic. So as I say, you just get whatever garlic you're going to get. You could get your garlic now, or if you've already ordered your garlic, you could, depending on where you're located, weather-wise, if it's not pouring the rain like it's here in Scotland every day, then you could get your garlic planted. If you haven't got into tying up your beds or decided where to put your garlic, put it in pots, because I think it's easier to look after else it's in a pot. There's a lot to be bit rubbish in it, but it's not as bad as that other stuff that I had last year. That other stuff I had last year was a nightmare. You put it through a sieve and well, you just can't what happened there with the sieve. It went through the sieve. There was more rubbish in it than there was in compost. But I'll be getting a few bags of that stuff that I had yesterday, just the stuff I bought last year to fill that bed that I made in front of the allotment. Because that's going to get done as well, because it never got done last year, this year. Well, I never got filled last year, I never got done this year, so it's going to definitely getting done. Well, it's definitely getting done this year during the winter, because it'll give me something to do as well. Because as you know, gardening work, it does start to slow down at this time, because nothing's growing. So you've got to find something to do. Even if it's doing something in the house, or if you've got a garage or a greenhouse or something to work in, and if there's something needing done inside, then if you've got pots, again, if you've got pots outside that need a wee bit of freshen up, this is the time to start, the time to do it. And if you've got ones with bulbs in it and the bulbs are looking a bit tatty every year, then it's the time to lift them. Get them lifted. Again, if the thing about tulips is they're alright, but every 3 years or something, 3-4 years, they just start to, well, that's what I do. The tulips were looking a wee bit tatty. The one is best as they were, so I replaced them. I never chucked the bulbs that came out. I replaced the ones. I replaced them with fresher bulbs. And then the ones that I tin out, I relocated them up the woods. Planted them up the local woods there. So how many have we got left? We've got 10, so we've got 10 there. Just make sure I've got 10 pots. We've got 10 pots because I didn't want to be going out in the rain and hunting in that cupboard to get pots. So when you're planting these, I've seen a lot of people planting them outside. Well, we could get to that when we get to it, but if you were planting them outside, just the way they are now, you would put them probably 6 inches apart, and you just want them no anywhere deeper than the tip of your finger. So I'll try and show you on here. So I've got my compost in there, and I've got my bulb. So just get rid of this in there. That's put your depth there, and then you just get your compost in there. Need more compost. So I'll do this one, and then I'll do the rest off camera. As I say, I'm not going to have enough perlite to finish the off, so a few of them will most likely do a foot perlite. Isn't it a problem? You just have to watch the watering. And there we have it, that's then done. There you go. So this is the start of 2023's garlic. Here I've got 9 more to do. So I've got 9 more garlics to plant. That's how I do my garlic. I do it every year. I've grown it like this. As I say, I change my mind where I want to plant things, so it's better doing it this way. And you could pick where you want to put it. And as I say, storing where to put it for it to grow in your greenhouse, polytunnel. You can put it in your cold frame. Watering wise, don't soak them. Can give them a good soaking drink, and that's it until they start growing. Just keep an eye on them. If they're outside, because the weather isn't warm anywhere, it's getting a little colder at night, so you don't have to really worry about them drying out unless the compost is crap. Then you should be fine. And make sure you label them, because there's nothing worse than no labelling a plant and you didn't know what it is until it starts growing. Even at that as well, with brassicas, they look all the same and you didn't ken as well. So it's important to label, and then they should take around about say 2 to 3 weeks maybe to start putting themselves through, and then you could just keep an eye on them once they start germinating, and then if you do need water, then water them. But apart from that, that's how you do the garlic, and hopefully we'll get 25 garlic plants, and we get a successful germination, and they do well until around March time, maybe the end of March. That's about the time we'll be picking them out. Depending on the weather, if it starts to warm up, then we'll pick them out. So yeah, so anyway, that's how I do my garlic. Any comments, just leave a comment if you need any help, anything, or any advice. As I say, that this video is for beginners as well, for allotments. So this is only the first one for the beginners. There's a lot more to be coming, and I'll hopefully be able to help them out, help you out on how to do things in the garden and help to get the best for your allotment. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.